Welcome in the newest tutorial. Today we're gonna learn how to pour resin on this specific project, and I'm gonna show you how I was pouring the resin. And I need to tell you that there are a couple of very important elements that are in play here, and the amount of pigments that I'm using, also double implementation of DRUZY to actually troubleshoot all of the color that was sinking into the DRUZY, as well as this very unique wispy effect on the edges that is very uncommon for geode art. And I'm gonna just share you in general how I was pouring this little piece, but if you want to learn specifically and exactly which pigments I was using, in which proportion, how much pigment I was adding, how to build ombre effect that we are seeing, so the shading effect from less transparent to more opaque, from less intense to more intense, as well as I mentioned this very unique wispy effect on the edges that I haven't seen in the geode art before. I really encourage you to look into the description link, because I'm gonna post in there link to the training online course that I did for this painting. And I'm using here a different techniques and different approach that majority of the geode artists are doing. Also, I'm using here my own product for the DRUZY, which is DRUZY Goddess. It's a DRUZY that I actually tested and perfected the formula over the past few years. I was testing different ingredients as well as different proportions of those ingredients, and I'm having now in the offer 17 different colors and shades of the DRUZY, but the white DRUZY is my favorite, is the one that I'm using the most, and is the one that I use also on this specific painting. And I'm not having much of any crystals in this painting because I wanted to show you that even if you don't have crystals, you can make the painting very beautiful and unique and very rich. And I only use a couple of casted highlights from mold 490 from Art for Start, but other than that, no crystals. And I actually work on double building DRUZY for this painting to neutralize the color that I poured with very bright and very intense and very rich green color. And I'm sharing here a lot of my knowledge in this course. I'm showing you exactly the proportions of the pigments that I was using, and also how to mix the pre-made for you DRUZY. And this white DRUZY is having 5 different components in itself. I'm having also black and moon goddess DRUZY, which is more like granite look DRUZY, with different shades of from very light gray to very rich dark color. And those DRUZYs are having between 5 and 8 ingredients. It depends on the color, and you can double check the link in the description. I'm also sharing because I got tons of questions about what kind of products I'm using to create my DRUZY, that it looks so beautiful and fluffy, and it's having very nice texture, and it's having very nice effect, very naturally looking, and it's not too sandy. So I'm gonna, this is no secret, I'm using DRUZY Goddess, and you can check all about it on the page that I'm gonna put in the description. But why I'm actually using the gold background and why I'm using the pigments in a sequence that I'm using here on the video, and which of there are actually, how the sequence of applying them is playing a big role in the final outcome. You can learn all of it and in the training. And this training is very, very unique and very important for the students, because I was really having a lot of elements where I had to rebalance the piece, where I had to troubleshoot something. And I think very often we feel like if you're having talent or if you're an experienced artist, all of the pours that we are doing are going so easy and we are producing beautiful pieces every single time. Sometimes we have to work double hard, especially when we are testing and trying new color combinations and new techniques. Very often we have to go back and rebalance the piece. And this course that I created, the Treasures of Geode Art, it's teaching you everything you need to know about rebalancing the piece and how applying the line work, how working with the DRUZY, how working with the highlights and different elements and different details, how in all of this process it's, you can help yourself and it's gonna help you on each stage of the process rebalance the piece. And I'm going with you throughout the entire process. It's around I believe for this course is something around 6 or 7 hours of the training. It's very rich in detail, it's very rich in the information, and it's teaching you a lot of skills which very beginner resin artists are lacking, which means that the moment they face the challenge of unexpected behavior from resin, they don't know what to do and they freeze and they don't know how to rebalance the piece and how to work on the piece. They're just tossing aside the piece, putting it somewhere on the shelf and starting from scratch. But this way you are not learning anything, and it's a lot of waste of time and waste of material, right? And a lot of frustration. And that's why I feel like this training can help many of you with the frustration of how to move forward, where I really don't know what to do with the piece, how to move forward when the resin is not behaving the way that I expected it to behave, and how to rebalance my piece if the resin actually didn't stay where I wanted it to pour, because all of the resin artists are promoting the resins, and not artists but producers and brands of the resin are promoting the resin to be perfect and you just need to pour it and it's gonna stay in the place. The reality is that resin art is still fluid art, and sometimes what we are gonna pour is not gonna look the same way once you torch and heat up the resin. Sometimes the lines are gonna get blurry, sometimes the lines are gonna jump on top of each other, and it's all about the color combinations and different techniques that you can apply to actually play with the focal point of the piece. And I'm sharing a lot of knowledge that it was many of you are feeling frustrated that I'm not sharing all of my knowledge here on the channel for free, but as an artist, I want to try, and a mother of 3 beautiful kids, I'm trying to keep myself above the water as well and make a living out of something that I feel is passionate, that I feel passionate about, and that I want to share with others. I want to spread my knowledge and spread my joy, and I want to help you reach your own potential, but at the same time I have bills to pay as well. So, and those facts and those tips that I'm sharing in my trainings are the tips that I learned through many hours of testing, crying. It was sweat and blood and tears and frustration and screaming that I'm gonna stop doing art altogether because I'm not having, it's not coming the way that I want it to come. So I know if you have this feeling yourself, if you find yourself feeling this way, I want to tell you that you are not alone. I'm very often was very often in those stages, and sometimes I'm even having the days when nothing is going as I want to, but I've learned how to cope with it, how to let go of my expectations, and how to tune into the energy and the flow of the piece that I'm making, to actually work with it and not against it. And at each stage of Geode art creation process, which there are somewhere around 15 stages that I describe in my first training for the beginners, that I'm offering the intro training, where I'm describing all of the steps of the artwork creation process of the geode art, the crystal artwork. You have chance to rebalance the piece, and the piece, it's a work in progress. It's like with life, and it's gonna change every time you add some small details, and it's really beautiful, and it's really can be a very beautiful and rich process and energized process for yourself and for your soul, if you let it to be, if you surrender to the piece, if you stop working from your head and tune into your intuition and with the guidance that I'm having for you, that I learned through my own experiences and my own test and trial and blood and sweat and tears, literally. I can save you a lot of time and frustration and material, because to be honest with you, resin is not cheap medium to work with. If you're looking for something that is much cheaper to work with and much more easy to work with, maybe not easy but cheaper to start, I would recommend you to look at the tutorials that I'm having with alcohol inks, because alcohol inks are probably a little bit cheaper options for artists who are at the beginning level on the budget. Resin is pretty expensive art, especially if you want to use real crystals, and especially if you want to make it like very high-end and unique. But I've learned how to work with limited materials and how to really work with pigments the right way. So I'm using small amount of high quality materials and the right resin for this specific projects to actually achieve beautiful results. And I'm sharing the list of my materials with the students which are purchasing the training as well, and I'm showing you which resin is good to get for this specific look, and all of the materials that you need and nothing more. I'm also teaching you the basic high quality materials you need to create any kind of geode art that is gonna have a professional looking outcome, but it's not gonna ruin your pocket. When I started with art, I bought so many different products, and half of them I haven't even touched to this day. So many pigments. I thought that the more pigments I get, the more happy I'm gonna be as well. It's a little bit of art therapy, like retail therapy, if you know what I'm saying. Put a comment underneath the video if it's resonating with you. But in my humble opinion, after many years and months of perfecting my style, I discovered that less is more. And less is more is something that I'm teaching you as well, and something that I'm showing you as well. And you don't have to have a lot of material and a lot of fancy art supplies to actually create something elegant, sophisticated, beautiful, professional. So I'm hoping that you are enjoying looking at me pouring and mixing resin here. I've actually did a lot of unusual combination from the background to the DRUZY use, and double layer of the DRUZY, and even the wispy effect, the beautiful wispy effect that you saw at the beginning and you will also saw at the end of this video. And if you are not having options to invest in the training to skyrocket your journey as a resin artist, help yourself save much more time and materials and frustration. I understand. I was very often in a position that I was not able to invest in trainings and in knowledge and in, broadening my knowledge about the medium that I was working with, and I just put in the work. So don't give up, just show up for yourself daily, test the products, look what I'm using on the camera, look how I'm pouring. You can see me pouring, you can see me using different materials. Test yourself, don't give up. I'm encouraging you to keep doing it if it's something that it's feeding your soul. I'm here to cheer you up. I'm gonna have more tutorials coming in, specifically for smaller artworks and for smaller projects, but there will be more and more tutorials coming in, and just be patient with me. I'm gonna try to make more videos for you to share more of my knowledge and my experience, but I need you to understand also that in the meantime I'm a mom of 3 boys who are right now ringing the doorbell, and I'm a business owner as well, and I'm just trying to show up for you guys here on the YouTube. So if there is anything that was resonating with you and that helped you throughout the process and the video, and it's anything on the channel that is helping you, I'm more than happy to hear about it. It's definitely making my day. I'm reading all of your comments, I'm checking all of the comments, and I'm here for you to help you on your own journey. Check my website, Violet View Art. Connect with me on the Instagram to see, to share your journey or share your experience. Reach out to me, say hi, and I'm sure I'm gonna meet you on the next videos and on the next lessons, where I'm gonna show you more and more tricks and tips and pouring techniques. So I'm looking forward to learn together with you, to teach you something that I already know, and to spread the joy of resin artwork, because I feel like this specific art is very, very contagious, and it's very I just got hooked on first try. So I hope that you will love it too. Give yourself a chance and you will fall in love with resin as much as I did, hopefully. So I'm gonna see you on the next tutorials, and if you like any of it, consider subscribing. It will really warm my heart, and it will show me that you care and that I'm showing here up for a reason, and spreading the joy. It's something I should be doing and focusing on more. So it's always making a huge difference if you leave a like, if you leave a comment, and if you subscribe. So yeah, thank you for watching with me. I'm gonna show you the close-up, and I'm gonna see you in the next video very soon. That's it, guys. It's just amazing opportunity to learn so many different techniques. After seeing that many of my students are struggling with rebalancing the piece and actually with making decision about doing the line work and adding the effects and what to do, when to do, and how to even do it, I've decided to pack the classes with as many information as possible, so please check the link in the description, but also don't hesitate to ask me any questions below. And if you want to see more videos and tutorials with many tips, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you will not miss any more valuable notifications, and you will up-level your skills with me before you even know it.